Hey everyone! Welcome to OT Genius's first live video. For those of you who have joined the group early on, I just want to thank you so much for joining. For those of you that are pre-OTs in the group, I think you guys have made a great decision and definitely taking a step toward becoming an occupational therapist and achieving your dream of getting into OT school. So thank you so much for joining. And at the end of the video, or even now, please do also put, whether you're watching this live, you put hashtag live or hashtag replay so I can know how it is that you're watching the video. And so yeah, with that said, I'll get started and just inform you guys of a few things that are going on with OT Genius. The very first thing that we do have going on is our basically personal statement review. We are doing that for free. So if you are an occupational therapy prospective student, please go ahead and send your personal statement over to otgenius18@gmail.com, and I'll go ahead and review it. Hey, what's up, Moise? Sean, hey, hey. I'm so glad you guys can join me. It's good to have you here. So yeah, that's what OT Genius is doing right now. If any OT students looking, or any pre-OT students looking to get in, please go ahead, send your personal statements. We will review them for free. And so that's what's going on at the moment, and we will be adding continuous content as well. I plan to go live on a weekly basis by even doing interviews with various people in the profession and even outside the profession in the physical therapy world, possibly even speech if I make some more connections in that area. But yeah, definitely gonna be making some interviews with people in the OT world that can already get you exposed to some people that are doing great things in our profession. And so with that said, I'll get to the nitty-gritty of what I wanted to talk to you guys about today on the links that I put, on Facebook and Instagram, and even in the group promoting going live. I put that I was going to be talking about basically building one another up and how important that is within the occupational therapy community. And so I'm going to more specifically, I guess, gear it toward pre-OTs and how that applies to you guys as pre-occupational therapy students. So I can't express enough how important it is for pre-occupational therapy students to build one another up, because I see it time and time again that pre-occupational therapy students get so caught up in the competition of trying to get into OT school that a lot of times the competition can get so cutthroat that you miss out on basically helping one another out. And that is something that can actually be a detriment to you even in the application process, and I'm gonna share why. There are many reasons why you having your own selfish desires as a pre-OT and thinking about, oh, if I help this person, then they may outshine me in the test, and that means that they will get a better grade and more likely to get into OT school, or if I help them, then they're gonna get a letter of recommendation that's better than mine for OT school from X professor. So it's very easy to get caught up in that, and I want to encourage you guys to try your best to step away from that mindset, because once you do, it will allow you to grow a lot as an individual and make you an even better OT. And so yeah, that's one of the things that I have noticed, and I want to just emphasize that that's just not how our world works. Our world basically works on principles, and one of those simple principles is that you reap what you sow. So you can't expect someone to even help you and be there for you in your time of need or have your best interest if you also are not willing to do the same, you know, and especially if you are going to, thanks, Mo, thumbs up to you too. So yeah, if you're going to be an OT, I want you guys to remember that you guys are going to be working with people that are probably going to be in one of their lowest, you know, points and darkest times. Maybe they've had a stroke. Maybe you're dealing with a parent that has a child with autism and they don't know how they're going to handle that. And you need to be able to have the skills and the mindset ingrained in you that you are in this to build one another up. And as we build one another up, that we can take the profession so far, and we can even, you know, basically advance the profession and have the occupational therapy profession reach its full potential. And so I think it's important for that reason. And I also think that it's important to build each other up as pre-occupational therapy students, because it even relates to your admissions. And you may be wondering how, but and I'll explain now. It's because, think about it. If you're applying to OT school and you're interviewing, you're in the admissions committee is interviewing you. You made it through that, and you came across as a person that is maybe just not willing to help others out and do not do well in groups. You know, a person that kills the interview and shows that they're willing to build one another up and can work well, and basically has a higher chance of getting in, because the admissions committee is looking at how well you work with others, and are you the type of person that is going to add value to the program, or are you going to actually tear the program down? And I can tell you, especially for a small cohort, that for some of you that you may be applying to smaller schools, if you have a small cohort, all it takes is one person to bring a cohort down and just make it very, very awkward for a lot of your classmates. So and so yeah, they're really looking at the type of person that you are. So as much as they're looking at your GPA, at your GRE scores, and your personal statement, you know, they're looking to see what type of person are you? What are you about? Are you going to even add value to the program, the profession? So that's what they are looking at. So I encourage you. Cindy, hi Cindy. It's so good to have you here. Welcome to the first live stream for OT Genius. So yeah, I already lost track what I was talking about. Oh yeah, so so yeah, just how they're looking at, what the programs are looking at, whether you add value to it. So they're looking at what type of person you are. So please keep that in mind. And I just want you to think a little bit more broadly, because this is a lot bigger than you getting into OT school. It's about the growth of the profession. So I hope that the content I provide on here on a continuous basis, and just throughout as this platform continues to grow, will make you guys better occupational therapists. And so yeah, I want to just emphasize that it's a lot more than your GRE scores, because once you do get into OT school, nobody's really going to be asking or caring about what you got in Anatomy and Physiology 1. You know, they're going to be looking at how well do you work with them to complete this assignment, or, you know, so they're looking at what you are about and what assets and qualities you bring to the table. So continuously build, like, try to focus on your own personal development, your leadership skills. So I really, really think that that's really important. And I encourage you guys to build another one of each other up, so you guys can reach your fullest potential as an OT and help us further the profession. And so yeah, with that said, I will also just share briefly some of the ways that you can build one another up. You know, some of the things are really simple. You know, number one is just honestly share resources. This is a resource, you know, so please share this with any pre-occupational therapy students that you know, because there's going to be a lot of content that can benefit them. Do not keep this to yourself just because you think that they may, you know, outshine you. And I can tell you that if this continues to go the way that it is, it can even possibly change just the admissions game period, because the amount of quality people going through this platform can change just, number one, the GPA and the candidates that are applying, the quality of candidates, because it'll be getting better as I help you all, you know, with your personal statements, maybe like even getting locations for observation hours. So this is going to be a game changer. So if they're not on it, they're going to have to if they're going to get into OT school. And so share this with your friends. Also, be willing to tutor your friends. That's another way that you guys can build one another up. And I'm sure it goes without saying that as you tutor someone, you enhance your own skills and you get to learn the material better yourself, because you are tutoring, you're the one teaching it. And you know, within the OT world, there's this thing called teach back method, if you haven't heard of it already. So yeah, I think tutoring one another is a great way to build one another up and on each other's strengths. And also just another way is if when you see that a friend of yours didn't do so well on a test, you know, be there for them and encourage them and tell them that it's not game over, that it's all about mindset, you know, and that they can't give up on their dream just because of a class, you know, or because of a test, or because of what an advisor or a professor says. So we need to be there for one another, because the people that are struggling in whatever class or test, you know, that is someone's, you know, like that person, you know, it can be someone's OT, and that patient in the future is waiting on them. So I really just want to encourage you to just think about how, you know, you deciding to take a step back and giving up on your own dream affects many, many people. There are people waiting for you to be an OT. For you pre-OTs listening to this, there are people waiting for you to be an OT and get through these classes. So please do not give up on that dream, because you're doing them a disservice. Your future patients are waiting for you. So with that, I drop the mic. I'm going to remind you guys, like I said earlier, please, if you're watching this, put hashtag live if you're watching it live, or if you're watching the replay, put hashtag replay so I can know how it is that you're watching it. I hope you guys have a great evening. And for all of you that have tuned in, thank you so much. I hope to see you guys next week as we go live again. Let's make this happen.